How's it going? How's it going, everyone? Good evening. Leah, my lucky number one. How are you doing, my friend? It was a pleasure speaking with you yesterday. I had the pleasure of doing so. Forks, good evening. This is a quick um, live. Just wanted to pop in. I have some things to do real quick after this, but I wanted to see if there's any, questions going on in regards to anything, or at least in the family's mind. Let me see. Hmm, Let's see. Let's see. What do we have? I'm watching as like the close of our AMC and a couple of other stocks, seeing what is happening. We're still in a bearish trend because, as you can see, they got us here down here for AMC. They got us back on in the levels of a bearish trend, which doesn't really matter for us because we're not in this for you know a couple of cents up or down, or a couple of dollars up or down. At least I know what I'm in this for, right? But we do have, as you can see, a stair step, and I'll be watching for before the earnings on this. What is it, on the 4th? I'll be watching for a sudden increase that takes us up before the earnings, because some of the gimmicks that they have been playing with in the past was to entice everyone before the earnings, any earnings. And after they entice you by doing so, you'll see the moving, like, the action of the price action moving that way. And then after the earnings, you'll see a red, selling trend. And you're like, what? Even if it's bullish news. And I've addressed this for you guys, as in why they do that, psychologically, why they do that. So it looks like we're heading in that direction so far, because I'm looking at the volume as well, and we're not getting anything crazy. I mean, we're still what, like, it's the end of the day almost, and we're around 21 million in total volume. Yeah, 21 and a half. So earnings on the 4th. Apparently Super Pets is doing really good. Anybody went to watch it? Probably Pam the Trader went to watch it. Super Pets. I'm assuming that's a good movie so far. Let's see. Um, see if the family has any questions before we head into the after hours. Yeah, Forks. I expect that as well. Or again, at the end of the day, what they like I've said in the phases from 1 to 5, they're psychologically playing this whole thing. They've been completely over leveraged. Um, we've heard that small interview I showed once for Adam Aaron, extending his wishes, or even saying that, addressing all the people who were watching the movie Nope on July 22nd, the kind of phenomena that AMC goes through, 5 million, 50 million shares that were traded over 25 times in one day. It's crazy. So we can't expect exactly the exact fundamentals that we expect the market to do. So it's very tough for day traders, but for the people who are in this for a short squeeze, if you have that conviction for that, then you're not in it for scalping here and here and here and there. There are all sorts of technicals that will give you that. However, there's no technical that will say a short just started covering. When a short wants to cover or a short starts covering, there's no technical for that. No technical. Technicals will react to it afterwards and say, oh, strong buy. Oh, it's squeezing. And personally, I don't want to be that person that with this play, I don't do the day trading or anything because I don't want to be the guy that, oh, the technicals didn't obviously notify him that some short decided that this is it. They want to get out. They're done. They're not. It's not profitable for them anymore. Neither it's for the institutions also that are lending these shares. Um, when they see no profits or a big increase in even share lending, then at any point these guys can literally call their shares back. That's always a possibility. And then that's something we can't do nothing about. You can't know. No technical analysis will tell you that on the chart. That's why it's really important to know which play is what, and each play is different. We can't compare any day plays or day trades or anything to AMC or GME or most of the memes because the other plays, they're not as heavily shorted. That's one. Two, even if they are shorted, they are treated as short-term short because shorts also have, they trade, they short daily. Now, the long shorts that we're dealing with, AMC and GME, for example, that's a different story. You're talking about, um, excuse me for this word, you're talking about castration. We're trying to castrate these people. Um, and in God's will, it will happen. We will cleanse the market of thee. KJW, yes. KD. You probably saw. Oh, I had a chart for it up here next to PLTR. That's another stock I'm really bullish on. In fact, that's a stock that I'm not financial advice here, guys, but that's a stock that I'm invested in for long term. It's a great company in my opinion, and we're heading into we're officially in the third quarter. So I would anticipate within the next couple months, if not then this upcoming month, not really soon. As you can see, I have all my technicals and everything's saying bullish. But it's a company that obviously I'm not expecting short squeeze out of. Uh, but it's easily a stock that I personally see in the at least in the 20s. And even then, that's an undervalue. However, the markets that we're in today, and unfortunately for that company, for most companies, even if they're good companies, right now they're in a bear market. Crash was to happen, they'll suffer the consequence, even if they have nothing to do with it, and even if they're a great company. So for me, I love the price of Palantir at this area. What's up, Kitty? Do not short the stream. You better not knock off the camera. But HKD just got halted earlier when I was looking at it. Is it still halted? PV. Yeah, the shorts didn't cover. So what are we talking about, right? Let's look at over here. Let's look at HKD. HKD has a big, very, very, very small float, around 20 something ish million. Last time I think I checked. What happened here? Oh, No, no pet time right now. Sorry, baby. Yeah, I was looking at it earlier. Let's see. Holy smokes. No way, it just did that. It's oh. It just squoze out of its HKD. Yeah. It halted at I was when I was looking at it just moments ago, it was at 530, 532 at 33%. And after it opened from the halt, it squeezed another 61% out. So now it's halted again at 767. I would imagine this current halt is going to take it or propel it well into the after hours. I think that's going to be an interesting time at that point. See, we had that technical over here and it panned out. There's a bullish pennant. So I always speak, I love these pennants, the bearish and the bullish ones. They're very, 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 they're obviously nothing is 100%, but very, 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 very accurate. This is nice. However, my overall view in this is what goes up must come down. Obviously, we all know this, but especially with this, it's a company that is based out of Hong Kong. Whew. And at, at any given moment, again, for me, this is past this IPO, so it's gonna do its thing, and it's in my opinion, I think it's gonna come down, uh, crashing really nice to come back to reality, and then it will go into a long cycle of figuring out, where it wants to really consolidate at. Similar to AMC here, but it's not the same stock as AMC. However, is just beginning its life. But if you look at AMC right here, this is like the moment what KD right now is doing. Is did this. This is what AMC did back in June, and then ever since then we've just been doing this. HKD will, when it reaches its point, its max, which at this point is unknown. But the trigger, once it triggers, for me personally, I'll know when it's the perfect time. If I want to short this, it will trigger somewhere around here. It will give me my indicators, whether it's bearish pennant or to see the levels of its fib retracements, and then it will tell me like, oh, okay, yeah, this is doing its going down phase, so that it can go in this long consolidating zone where, again, if somebody is gonna whatever put time to see how long, if they really love the company, uh they would be going through a trip like this and probably much longer after it comes down to possibly expect it to pump up. I honestly expect this company to be one of those out of nowhere, like Liberty B Trip Advisor. That stock is a dead stock. Every 6 months, it pumps out of nowhere. It literally squeezes out of nowhere. And I've been tracking that since 2020. That particular stock. That's why I'm relating this to that. And out of nowhere, every like 6 months, 8 months, at least once or twice a year, it rips out of nowhere 300-400%, something like that, like high, sometimes even more, and then it just goes back to irrelevance zone. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Jeffrey? PV is going great, brother. It's going great. Thank you for asking. I'm gonna put my shin guards on forks. Let's see. What else do we have besides this? Veronica, hopefully you're having a great time at work. Thank you for watching. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, please put them in. Because again, I don't have particular content to bring to you today. I do have a few things that I gotta go do real quick, and that most likely will take me well into the night. So I just wanted to pop in on a Monday and see if there's any questions that people are having. HKD was one. We knocked that out. Still within the halt. I think that it's going to be in the halt, like I said, well into the after hours. This is a good zone that AMC retraced to. Yeah, it's going to be in this zone. Most likely will close at 1543. I think it's less listening to me. It just went up 1 cent. We're moving up, guys. Don't get too excited. Uh, Jason Scott, check Discord plays. Oh, the ones that you talking about the two that I put up? Well, Palantir and Neo, I think I put up. Let me see. Okay, bye bye HKD. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Come again. Yeah. So okay, so this is the funny thing. The media screwed with this play. By the way, this is another short squeeze play right here. However, the only reason I reiterated like so many times in the past, over so many months, I said that I this is one of the stocks that I love so much. Unfortunately, it's the politics that play between China and the US are the deciding factor for me in this. So I can't be in something that, at any given moment they could say, like what the SEC did with Alibaba, and they put up that, at least they put it on that list that it could potentially be pulled off. I don't want to be that person. Anybody, nobody wants to be that person that have, a position in something and then suddenly it gets frozen, and it gets yanked off the Nasdaq. That's a very rough time. So I love this company. I just don't want to risk jumping into something that politically gets screwed, even though it's a great company. So, anyways, they reported that they are gonna start building power plants in Europe for their Europe counterparts, and that's bullish news. Earlier this morning, like in the light hours, like around 1 or 2 or 3 in the morning, reported that in our Discord. However, right after that, like I think around 7 or 8 p.m., or not p.m., a.m., they reported that, oh, the sales are less and they're having a big problem. Media countered that bullish news with bearish news with what? Um, the news of there is a big shortage in pieces, in chips and the parts, so that's hurting their sales. Which again, I don't buy too much into that. I know these companies are flying, especially like Neo, xpev, but the xpev is just in a different realm because it's not just necessarily just a car company. I mean, these guys are trying to make futuristic like cars, like a helicopter like car that you can drive, but it's like not you're flying in the same time. Good companies though. But for me, I just scalp these plays. So I'm anticipating um, something to pop up with Neo tomorrow, or within, yeah, tomorrow or by Wednesday at least, within the next 2 days. I anticipate not something crazy. Again, for a day trader's dream is to get something like to trade amongst the levels of the resistance and the support. And I could see easily my buy-in being at, for example, at the 2018 current price, um, and possibly if it passes 2024, which is, you know, the stock always moves up and down. So if it passes that small level for me, I will be scalping at 2040 or 2035, which is again, it's in the sense, but that stuff add up if you are a day trader. Let's see what other plays. Going regarding, oh, is the shenanigans? Yeah, well, these guys, they're both smart gentlemen. I had the privilege to speaking with Randall more than once on a couple of Discord calls. He's a very intelligent guy. And Jason Scott, yeah, I know you said options, but then you put the opinions. I was like, yeah, okay, wow, that's financial advice given at its finest. Let's see. I'll look that up for you. Okay, so it had its you YOLO'd where at 2650. Ooh, okay. Well, at least you're in the green as of for now. Let me see something. Let me see something for you, Scotty. Okay. So it doesn't have a super gigantic float. Anything normally under 100 million is not too big. However, we got to put in consideration the institutional ownerships in it. Let's see. Wow, on 4.5 million, this action happened like this. See, when you see stuff like this, you're like, man, you can only imagine how much they're screwing with AMC and GV. Um, what did I want to see here? Oh, yeah. Is this a stock that just like what has been around for less than a month? Well, my friend, I can tell you this right now, it's in a bullish trend. So, Scott, again, no financial advice. Uh, Personally, for me, what I would do with stuff like this, if I got in, for example, at 2650 in this play, and right now it's around that price. I know we're in the after hours right now, so hopefully, for me, I have brokers that are operating the after hours. I definitely will scalp my initial up to hopefully my initial investment back so that there's no pressure. I'm the kind of investor that, especially because I am a day trader as well, I have to get to my ultimate goal with every position is to always try to have way more. Well, the overall goal is to win more than lose so that they can add up. And obviously, at the end of the day, you come out with green instead of coming out in the red. That way, you know, if you come out in the red a whole lot more, then eventually that career ends right there. So what I do normally is, because I do heavy volume and I do trade, and I, again, every day there are plays. So I'm not just waiting for one play to come and I try to ride it. If that's the case, then I'll be looking for a short squeeze play, which this could possibly be something, but it will be probably short lived. So for me, my actions are always getting my initial investment out. Excuse me. And then the rest is all play money for me. I have zero pressure on my back to worry about getting screwed, or having to be stuck or glued to my screen, because I have to move on to the next play instantly. Even within the same hour, sometimes I would have two, three, four plays going, which is not really necessarily a good strategy, because it, if you do this a lot, then you know what you're doing. If you don't do day trading a lot, then you want to stick with watching something and just keep your attention there, so that you don't, nothing passes you. You're not looking at the second one or the third one, while the first one is probably tanking and you just don't know because you're watching the second and the third. And I'm totally personally against sell limits. Sorry, not sell limits, but the uh, the stop loss, because market makers trigger those and they see them. They could easily, drop it the price down there just to trigger that sell price, that sell limit, or the stop loss, and then move on. So I don't want to be played. So what I do is I scalp. So at the end of the day, it's up to how you're viewing this play. Are you looking at this play? Is there some particular news that you know of, or you've been watching the play for a while, or somebody said something really hypish about it? From a day trader's perspective, I will be scalping along the way, as I'm going up. And then eventually, once I'm in a zero risk position, at that point, it doesn't really matter. It's about what kind of system you have going. For me, I'll throw a hypothetical number. I'm always trying to jump into plays, make my 5-10%, walk out, depending on the play. And over time, that adds up big time. That adds up big time, especially depending on also what kind of capital you're working with. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely adds up. That's how you see these videos of some day traders that put, and it's true. I support these some of these day traders videos. They put up these videos where they say on the thumbnail like, "Oh, I made $1,000 become $10,000 in 1 month or less." Um, People always look at every play most of the times. I'm not saying you're doing that, but most people look at every play like they want to make all their honey from. Just each play they go in, they need to make thousands of dollars off of. Again, it all depends on the capital. I mean, if you're a person who's dropping in on such play like this, let's say you drop in 10,000, 25,000, 50,000, then clearly 3, 4, 5% will make a huge difference, right? You're talking about if there was 50,000 drop on this, and then you made 5%, and your goal was to take 5%, scalp 5%, and you got your 5% out of that 50,000, you just made 2,500. Doesn't matter how long it took or whatever. For day trading, you're most likely scalping quickly. So hopefully that answers the question. However, like I said, I don't see too much volume on the play. So it's definitely buying pressure on this. I mean, again, all that for under 5 million. So you can see here at any given moment, this could become this. And that's why I said it all depends on your overall plan. Like, are you looking at this as a short squeeze play? Are you looking at this as a scalping or a day trading play? Um, because if you're looking at it this way or that way, then the whole mindset switches and completely changes. It depends on how you're looking at it. Hopefully that answers it, Jason Scott. If there's any other questions about it or something you want me to address more, just ask. FJR Pilot, North Carolina. How are you, brother? Thanks for the love. PV politics in my office is bigger than the US-China drama. F these people. I can't wait to take my attendees and run. Hey, you know what's funny? PV, I'm pretty sure you're not the only one that feels that way. Whimsy chick. Hey guys, did any get in HDK? Damn, it hit 767. I personally haven't. It was brought to my attention by Super Steven. In fact, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm just waiting on my right moment and technicals for shorting that stock. So it's a healthy short. Everything goes up, everything goes down, right? But it will cost a lot to short this fucking stock. To short it at these ages and at these stages, and I'm sorry to you know, swear. Sorry guys. But yeah. Did you get into it? Whimsy? Hanzo, how are you? How are you, my friend? Let's see. Did HKD move up too in the after hours? Because that again, that halt took it into well into the after hours and knew it. And now it's at oh okay, so 8% up, 835 currently. Yeah, whoever got into this after right after it IPO'd, they must have been really really happy. But then again, it's so much easier to look at it from above when it's here now than to have to ride that wave up because people don't expect that. Like when you see a stock go up like 6, 7,000%, 5,000%, um, when it made it there, looking at it afterwards, it's so much easier to say, "Oh my God, whoever was in it was happy," because most people, logically speaking, when they see 20, 30, 40, 50%, they're already like, okay, I'm outie. Now, a lot of people, this is again, Jason Scott, this also goes a second part to your question about my strategy. This is why I'm always trying to get to that point as a day trader of coming out even on my investment, getting my initial investment out. Because at that point, I have no more pressure. At that point, I can entertain a certain allocated amount for the YOLO or the FU situation. Because this could happen with any stock. So clearly here with HKD, that is happening. I would have definitely not had my whole position waiting until this point. Personally, for me, I just would not have 100% of my whole position on it and still have waited all the way until this point because you can't see these coming exactly. So I would have definitely gotten myself to a point where, with my strategy, got my initial investment out as from the profits. So eventually, I'm going to be left with a certain amount, and whatever that certain amount is, I'm going to take probably at least half of it along the way. And then the last half, no matter what happens with it, I'm still walking out with profits on that play. I can keep it for something like this, and then next thing you know, leave the rest to God and and fate, and see what happens out of it. Even if it goes down, and logically not to zero, of course you won't. But even if it goes back down, again that certain allocated amount was already me being in the green regardless. I already got what I wanted from it, and this is just an extra tip on the side, on top of it, to add the cherry on the top. Jeffrey didn't get in HDK. Is it HDK or HKD? However, we know what we're talking about. But did get into Revlon as soon as the bankruptcy news came out. uh, and ran it up to 475% gain. Nice. Yeah, actually, that was the other. That's what you were asking me about, Jeffrey. That was the other one um, that I put up in the Discord. No, not snaps. Holy smokes! It did that well. Man, when I reported it on Discord, it was up 20% or 18%. It ended up with roughly 90% on the day. Well, congrats, Jeffrey. Congrats to everyone else who also got into it. Wow. I mean, that buying volume that came out, Jeffrey, I'm pretty sure you see it right here. Holy smokes. Yep. Weirdly, this play worked out with its fundamentals. Let's see. Have a safe travel on your trip, Leah. Thank you. TV. My wife would kick my butt. I will check, Jeffrey, if you added something on Discord. So actually, let's do this. This is our Discord. Uh-huh. People, Jeffrey want to share this with you. It's just for those naysayers out there. Jeffrey, aka Adam Aaron. Oh, so nice. You did it with a couple of option plays. Yeah. Congrats to you, brother. Was that? Oh, okay, okay, okay. This is all the same, and this was the last one, I assume, right? Unless you processed some of them, you probably bought gobbled up a bunch of them, and then you sold as the percentages kept moving up, or at least as you made the 4 to 50. I'm assuming here this is not in order, right? I hope it's not in order because that's the last one. We gotta just show some love over here. This is another brother of mine, Tell Dog. The whole world is watching you, Tell Dog. Is that a pickle I see right there? Yep, that's our people. It's fun. AB, I was looking to only make um 10 to 20% on Revlon, but it started running. Yep, there you go. Now, Jeffrey, I because we talk a lot, and I know you personally. I'm pretty sure you did take out profits along the way as it was riding up. Am I correct? And a lot of times, what helps with that is if you have no worries, people, you see, you have no worries about what's going on because you're not in a loss anymore. You get your initials out, majority of your investment or your initial investment out. Then the rest is easy to hold through. HKD doing wild things. Sup the boss. What's up? What's up, brother? Good afternoon to you as well. Diaz. I saw on Super Stevens. I have to show some love. I kid with my friends all the time. They know me. I know them. I know they know I'm kidding with them. And I was looking at Diaz, you know, uh, picture. I was like, who is this armored guy with palm trees around him? Looks very intimidating for sure. One of my most favorite people in this YouTube world is Diaz. How are you, brother? Tell dog, the pickle, he's in the house. I just now, well, at least I just now got to your comment. Spoke to my neighbor about AMC. That's what PV is saying. She laughed and said, pipe dreams. Oh my God. Told me that I should have bought a second home, sold it, and made 50K profit. I smiled and said, you're right. What a perfect answer, PV. You're never, sometimes this is, it's like getting into a conversation with a well, no, I have an example, but I don't want to use it. It's a terrible example. Because we might have some believers of that faith, and I don't want to bring them up. You're not gonna go nowhere with people with these mindset. That's the most important point, or the example I wanted to share. You're only gonna go into it because they're already their point is no matter how right you are, you're wrong, and that's their mindset. So until for now, we are wrong until proven correctly. And I do believe that day will come. I love those kind of plots and those stories because when we do, there's going to be many ordinary people, not just shills that you see on YouTube. No, no, people that surround you, many people that will, you're going to have two of them. One, they're going to flip the switch ASAP and say, you are so good. Man, teach me how to be a great trader like you. Because they're going to be looking at the proceeds or the fact of the news of what's happening with AMC, and they're going to hear about it. And they're going to be like, weren't you telling me that you were in that? And I was telling you to have pipe dreams better and whatever. You're going to have one half that will flip the switch and call you the guru you are. And then you're going to have another half that are going to be completely even more chilly toward you. If that's not a word, but we'll use it because they're going to be like, oh, it's not fair. Uh, inflation is high and everything, and these people are doing this. Like, they're going to be just so pissed off that they believed the rest of the system that is telling them to F this stock. We're the only one in that position. You're the only one that is against that whole motive, and you came out to be right. And many people hate to be wrong. You know, I hate to be wrong, but for different reasons, not those reasons, not just to be right. I don't hate to be wrong just because I have to be right, which is what most of these people are. Um, it's crazy. Great answer, PV. Oh, damn it. Your screen is off. Oh, it didn't share. Okay, okay, okay. Hold on. I'll try to fix this. Unless you want to see it again. Can people confirm? Can you see this, people? Tell Dog, you are 100,000% correct. Humor is the key to life, in my humble opinion. In mine as well. Chrismo, what's up, Chris? How are you, brother? Dips Patel, look at that. Good afternoon to you too as well, sir. Let's effing go. Need for Speed. What's up to all my paper hands and diamond handers? Well, um, the paper hands, I don't think you need to say what's up to because they're not here. You know, they're enjoying cutting papers. As far as diamond hands, I will point to myself here, and everyone will speak for themselves in the comments for sure. It's freaking amazing. Yet another amazing day of an opportunity to add more to my positions into my MC and GME, honestly, as well. Oh, so it's showing you the chart, but it's not showing you the Discord screen. Okay. Hmm. Let's see how we could fix that. It will take a little bit, but I got you. I got the power. Uh, 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 uh. That just reminded me of the karaoke session we had with in Pam's Discord. Man, we were going for like 5, 6 hours. There's a couple of superstars in there, and AB is not one of them. Just tell you that, guys. That. Um, Charisma paper hands, get your paper cuts. Yes, sub the boss. Only diamond hands here. Yep. Need for Speed is loving it. uh, Jeffrey, I'm committed to this. We are gonna get that Discord picture up. Believe me. Take Discord off pickle mode to show. Can you guys see it now? We're checking. We're gonna get to it. You can vouch for that, Tell Dog. Screw you, man. Thanks for putting my confidence up. Shirley's a great singer. Definitely. IP Freely just got here. Have you seen that stuff about Is the Banks and September 1st, Phase 6? Whew. Yeah. Bigums and Randall have been talking about it actually for many, many, many months. Um, I know some other people have been talking about it as well. Um, However, in here, I've laid out my case as in I don't tie my investment in AMC, GME, and a couple of other meme stocks based on any catalyst because nothing is going fundamentally with this. You know, we're literally going for their aiming for their jugular on the other side, the people that are shorting us, and they're aiming for ours. So it's a fight for survival. And personally, for me, I'm not gonna mentally attach myself to a particular catalyst or whatever. And when it doesn't pan out, because the other side, you got to remember, the other side controls media and obviously holds the leverage of buying out officials, bribery, whatever, all that kind of stuff. And that is easily explained by the case that we're still here. For people like me, by September, which is next month, it'll be exactly 2 years of being in AMC and a little over a year and a half with GME. So it's you have to remember that they, or for me at least, I incorporated the idea that they put these things, they know these catalysts will come out, these most of them are great ideas, but since they are also anticipating that, what they do is they capitalize on that transaction, and they let you and sell the idea, yeah, and a little rise in the price action, and they sell the idea and they let it get crazy. Even shills will go on online and social media platforms and start pushing for that idea. And when the day comes and you get red price action, now psychologically, for whatever you've been harnessing for the last 2 3 months, 5 months, whatever, 6 months, possibly being the one and all, didn't work. At that point, what is your psychological effect going to do on you? And that's what they're aiming for. You're psychologically going to be like, oh, they're going to be doing this shit forever. If this didn't make it squeeze, then we will never squeeze. You will start thinking like this. And to keep myself away from these and filtered away from these thoughts, and so that I'm not too invested in within a certain idea. I know I have my position. I'm adding more to my position. The longer they let this go, the more they have to pay for me later, because I'm going to continue to add when I can to my position. The less they let this go on longer, they can control the amount of damage that will cause upon them. So that's the way I take it, as me versus them. I know each one of you have a position, and our movement is huge. It's in the millions. Excuse me. But if each person thinks of it in that sense, then there is nothing they personally can do. I personally believe that the war has already been over a long time ago, and that's what we've been battling. Please check phases 1 to 5 that I have on my channel, and then follow it up with the last live of I figured out what Ryan Cohen is doing with GME, and it has a GME and AMC thumbnail similar to the one on here. And I'm pretty sure at that point you're gonna get my overall answer on this whole ISDA stuff and everything else in general, because I like to generalize the whole picture versus just looking at one thing or one action, whether cat system, whether what you've seen it before. Transparency, postponed. When people were banking on that, when it got postponed, what did we get? A lot of people that, started saying, I'm giving up on this, I'm tired of waiting. They're going to keep kicking the can down the road. It's not healthy thinking, and I don't like it. I know they're aiming for it because they're that insidious. However, the best way to be away from that is I have personally, and if to each their own, personally, I have my conviction in my positions, in my play, where my money is. And I double down on it every time I get the chance to. Whenever I get the chance to add, I double down on it because I let my money follow what my mouth says, and prove it to them by doing that. Now, they want to put out crazy shit where great earnings, and yet we get red price action, postponing of many regulations, whether transparency, whether the cat system, whether whatever, even is any of that stuff. That's not going to deteriorate any of my conviction because I'm not tied up emotionally to any of them. You see what I'm saying? My conviction is in the play and much less into the system, because unfortunately for saying this, clearly for me, I'll speak for me, the system is not for the people and it's not for us. So therefore, why would I have faith in a system that doesn't have my best interest in mind? Hopefully that answers it, brother. Jam Bams, how are you, my dear friend? Another amazing individual with a canary-like voice. Jam Bams is a singer. Sorry to put you out and on blast, Jam Bams. We're friends, so you got to cut me some slack. Fred, just under 700 here, patiently waiting. Well, brother, I'm in it with you. That whatever for whatever it's meaning, whatever it means to you, um, I'm holding for the family and for my family, like for my family in home here and my family, you guys out there as well, and the whole community in general. Trust me, this channel will never ever pump out an idea about averaging down on either AMC or GME. Whoever doesn't like that, there's plenty of channels that does that out there. But if you want to talk about averaging down or whatever, yeah, we could talk about Palantir. We could talk about a bunch of stocks with that kind of mentality. Whether day trading, you could ask, I will give you that. But AMC, GME, and I'm not saying any of you in here are saying it. I'm just saying it for whoever have that in mind. This is the wrong channel. I will never ever average down $2, $3 on a price action on something that when my conviction strikes and it squeezes, as we call it MOAS, $2, $3, even $30 will be laughable. I purchased AMC in the $60 range. I purchased AMC in the 50, in the 40, in the 30, in the 20s, in every range. I don't give a shit because I know that the turnaround is going to be laughable. 20, 30, 40 bucks different, $3 different. It's laughable for me. And again, that's my conviction. Many people who come to these two plays specifically to day trade or to get a better access point or entry point, you risk missing out. You never know when a short starts tapping out and says, hey, I want to get out. I know it's been almost 2 years, at least speaking for me. But there's no telling when somebody taps out and the process starts. There's no telling if they took away the buy button back in January. There's no telling that they won't do the same thing again and just close it off from the outside and just force it to be a sell only position. I'm not saying that that would not cause the MOAS. No, in my opinion, MOAS is imminent. It's imminent. The nightmare has to be closed and finished so that the rest of the market can operate. So power to you, brother Fred. All we see is your dome. Hold on, it's not showing now anymore. Hold on, we'll put it back over here. Sorry, Jeffrey. Sorry, I couldn't show your profits, but they got it. They got the idea. I wish you would have sent me that earlier. I would have made a particular tab and opened up the browser, and kind of like saved it and added it as an image to show to everybody. Yes, Chris, we are the will. Tail Dog is aiming for their jugulars. Oh, you ain't aiming for their jugulars. You're aiming for their bank accounts. Well, normally that comes hand in hand, both. Dibs loves it. Oh my God. Look at all this love in here. Amazing people. Jeff Nickel, good day to you as well, sir. Always lovely to see you, sir. And it was an amazing, as always, it's always a pleasure to conversate with you, sir. You're very knowledgeable in the Discord. And I humbly request of you to constantly keep it a habit. Um, I'm always a student for in life and in the game. So I always want to know, it doesn't matter whether stock related or not. Um, you know, you never want to be in a teacher position where that's it. In my opinion, I've said this before, but whenever you get into a teacher position in life, that's when you know your life stopped, because you're no longer growing. Now you're just, you capped yourself to that certain whatever that level is, and now you're just, giving out whatever info you have, which eventually you're gonna run out of. So you always want to be the student in life, people. That's AB speaking. To each their own, right? But love to see you in here, brother. Broke Ape, how are you, sir? Always great to see you as well. Jam Bams, I was driving, I'm late. It's okay, put me on blast. Something tells me that with all these laughing faces that you love it. Tell Dog always throws everybody under the bus. What a pickle. Oh, thanks, Tell Dog. I have to be. He's nice to me too, so I have to show some love. Um. All right, Crismo. Hell yeah. Below 25, great average. Um. AB. Veronica's asking, how are you feeling about this September 1st talk? Um. There isn't much, Veronica, for me. I laid out the phases that I think about, and that's just more mentally I am. When Moas, starts taking off again, it's imminent for me, and it's all about when they're, or on their side, they start tapping out. Now I'll tell you guys this: in order for them to postpone this so far to this point, just to today at least, since that this movement have started, there is no doubt, not even a single trickle in my system that does not say they are all collaborating. I've said this many times before, but like if I need more uh conviction into that idea, the fact that all shorts, because we're not against person. Previous short squeezes have been more of one entity versus one entity, similar to Volkswagen. So or even Herbalife, this individual, rich individual or rich company versus this rich individual or rich company, and then whoever comes out on top ultimately triumphs the other, and then the other gets dismantled, and they lose a lot of money, billions. Now, in this case, the reason why this have never happened before like this is because we're going against the whole structure. Everybody is against us from the other side, just about. Not every hedge fund is a bad hedge fund. There are many good ones out there, smaller ones, even some that are big. However, any short that's involved in our plays, I have zero doubt in the idea or in the fact that they're all either swapping or are all on the same page. Why do I say this? I've said this before, I'll say it now again. Because if one single person covers, that creates a domino effect for the person above and the person after and the person after. And it's at that point, to a certain extent, everybody at that point are going to be fighting their way out, running to the sell to the sell button or to the buy button in their case, because they're shorting, so they need to buy their shares back. They're going to be running to the buy button, hoping that they can get out now before it's way too late, and you got them holding their belongings, not walking out of their offices but jumping out of the windows. So the idea that they're not on the same page and talking to each other and have some unwritten agreements amongst themselves, I wouldn't put past them. In fact, for me, this is my humble opinion, I believe that that is the case. Chump change. Ron Johnson, yeah, I bought in the 50s all the way down to $12. Man, good for you, Ron. And hopefully, in God's will, it would all pay off. Hopefully. They'll do what they did with Redbox. Yeah, those stocks. Okay, so the beautiful thing about these stocks is, especially with the ones with very small float, it's all about and I was telling one of my friends this even yesterday too. It's all about your entry and your exit in those plays, because it's not just one or two plays that are going to be making money every day. You're going to have plenty of stocks to make money out of, whether to the upside, downside, whether you play options and puts or calls, or you just buy shares and stocks of the company, or whether you even short. I mean, I know people that basically buy shares into a stock, and they will sell within their limits. Like when they get to their percentages, like they go for 3% up, and then they will short the stock right back down, and then they will buy right back up. And most of those, they use AI signals, um, which for most of the times is they're pretty accurate. But that's like, a monthly subscription, and where's the fun really in that? If you enjoy trading, like I enjoy trading, I don't enjoy, having some sort of AI system that tells me, oh, okay, buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here. Then what are you doing? I understand many people just want to, hey, I'm in it for the money. I don't care. It's not my hobby or whatever. For me, I love it. It has this sensation that I love, that comes out, like that tenacity, and the oh my god, yes, it's working, it didn't, yes it did, and the sense of accomplishments afterwards. um so it's let's see here, excuse me. So at the end of the day, it's all about your entrance with those stocks, where you enter. You don't want to be the person that goes in on a stock when it's 200-300% up, or 120% up. Still could go higher, who knows? But at that point, you got to look at your risk analysis and say, the odds are saying that this is its top. Most likely, this is its top, and now it's most likely going to go down. So you need to perfect where you enter, the right timing, and then your exit is normally your results. So when you exit, whether you exited your position, the result, you will know it, whether it's in the green or in the red. That's your results, and you need to live with it. Obviously, there's nothing else you can do about it at that point. Enjoy the wins and the proceeds, or um, collect the tears. I'm pretty sure you guys are very sophisticated. You don't have to worry about all that. Um, but you got to remember also that everybody takes losses. It's up to you to determine how big or how much of a loss you take. I take losses, and it happens also, like, frequently. It's not like it's, oh no. So, but my point, as I said earlier, if you're a day trader, your wins have to outweigh your losses. And the better and better you get, and the more experience you put under your belt, and you stay on that course, you'll see that you'll form a certain system that works well with you, because everybody thinks differently about things, and you'll have your style. And at that point, if you're with time, if you're more successful, you'll see that will all add up into your portfolio in no time too. It's kind of like a YouTube channel. It starts off with one sub, two, three, four, five, stagnates, and then suddenly at some point, you're, oh wow, 3 months ago I didn't have 100 or 300 or 400 subs or people, and now people are listening to me and watching me. So it's very humbling experience. But that's how a day trader, I'll think of it. The best example I can think of here, a day trader is like, you just gotta stay persistent, and have a particular solid plan that you don't deteriorate away from as things evolve. So take your losses and enjoy your wins, and may your wins outweigh your losses, and you know and hopefully become extremely wealthy, whether with the squeeze or without. Yep, anyone in the Discord can see it. Look, we're trying to entice people to join the Discord. Don't worry, people, it's free. Brocade, just curious, would IPO plays make shorters get margin called? So with an IPO, normally, and there are people, I was also saying this to someone last night, with IPOs, you always have, there's certain people that do nothing but trade IPOs. Literally, like that's the only thing they deal with. However, you're not, there's many more IPOs that, that do initiate their IPO and come out in a loss than in a win. So normally, if your broker offers you a window, 30 days or a week or whatever, 4 days in advance to go ahead and submit an order so you could get first dibs on their shares on the day of the IPO, they'll give you a range between a certain number and whatever, and it's up to you. So one of the ones I did was Heartbeat, the company, and that's the same example I told my friend, and I loved it because it IPO'd, it did well, it didn't do crazy HKD numbers, thousands of percents. It went up. I remember it was like somewhere around 30 or 40%. But the better part about that and the best part about that was we freaking they offered also warrants with it. So I was able to sell my warrants and I was also able to sell the 30-40% IPOs on it. Now, shorts can't necessarily short it before it IPOs. That's why you'll see what they can do though is create selling pressure on it on the day of. They could be people that purchased those stock, they had access to those stock much earlier, and on the day of, you get what I'm saying now. It's only kind of makes sense, and most of the times that happen with SPACs. And what SPACs are is I made an episode when I was down in Tennessee last month or 3 weeks ago about what happened with Morgan Stanley and the biggest SPAC deal ever. You know, it was like $4 billion that all got canceled because the investors. What happens with a SPAC is, okay, I'm sorry, I know I'm rambling. This goes into a lot, but it's important. I will give you a thorough answer. I will never give you a yes or a no, unless you say yes or no answer. So with a SPAC, you will get these major investors that put money together, and these major investors will um, find a company that is not IPO'd yet, that has not gone public, that has really great, they believe it's a great company. And what's good for them is they get an early entry into that company, become investors in that company. And that way, the company now, what's the advantages for that particular company? One, they have to bypass asking for money and investments because they get the money. So now they have a financer, like a financier, which is the big conglomerates that are coming together, those investors that are invested in it. That's one. Two, they also get to um, get, besides like kind of like an open check where somebody's following them and they IPO them. Now, that's what's good for that company. Now, what's good for these investors and what they do sinfully is, since they have a much lower price average when that IPO occurs, and that day of the IPO, naturally, once the price starts surging, these people will start collecting their profits because they want to get money. They're like, hey, we didn't just invest in your company because we think it's going to be a great SPAC or a great company. We also invested in it because we think that we can make money out of it personally. You know, for us, we don't want to just make it easily. I mean, that's one of the reasons, hopefully. But the most important reason is for money purposes. And they will start eating. They will eat, and they will eat good too. So there is a game with the IPOs. You've seen with HKD how it flew up, squoze thousands of percents, but this makes it very delicious now for major money people, like whether it's individual investors or retail investors or whales or institutes, to look at this and say, yeah, this stock is not staying in the 700 or 800 and $900 range for long. So they could dictate, and they have a lot of reach. They could reach out to each other and, okay, you want to go in on a short position here at that level? Okay, I'll jump in too, and all that stuff. And then next thing you know, you know, they have a whole thing that we don't have access to, but you can only use your imagination. HKD 100% will not stay in the levels that it's in. It might still continue its run to whatever levels, but eventually the rainbow will fade and it will come back down to a battle of one descending sell-off, major sell-offs, people enjoying the money that they're making, huge amount of money, especially institutions that are in the play, because no institution is going to watch that IPO this like this and then just write it back down. You know, the way that happens is with created selling pressure. So they will sell, might keep a little bit, whatever. I mean, to each their own, but mostly they will sell. Stock comes down, and then it will have a long fight of consolidation era where it tries to consolidate on a particular price level, and then after that, it either will, you know, whether that takes 3 months, whether that takes a month, whether that takes a year, who knows? It takes whatever amount. And that's when you start seeing more entry of institutions, retail, and a lot of things in that time frame. And ultimately, it's all about what you think about that particular stock and that company. For me, like I said, the only longs that I'm in are a few meme stocks and mostly AMC and GME. Everything else, because of what the state of the market that we're in, I am day trading, so that I can propel myself for when the time is right. I have a lot of dry powder and dry ice that I can go ahead and utilize at the right moment, especially if I see big cap stocks or blue chip stocks at price levels that are impossible to pass on. That's when I will pounce on it, because I'm going to be at that point riding the wave back up with those stocks, because I know whatever recession happens, these particular stocks, blue chip stocks, many of them, will be able to ride up the wave. Yeah, they will have their down, and that's where my entry point will be. Then eventually ride it right back up as the years take us through this upcoming crash or recession or depression, that is. And they also will give off dividends, most of them. And I look for those plays because once you have a big capital and you invest heavy, your dividends will pay off. It doesn't pay off much for people who start with very small. That's why it takes them many years to build their portfolios to a point where their dividends are very felt in their lives. However, once you, let's say for AB, for example, I'll use me as an example. If MOAS happens, I get my attendees out, big capital. That's one way, whether I want to look at real estate, whether I want to follow my overall goal plan, which is important and exporting, and some of my closer friends in here I've shared in details with. And then there will be a big amount that will be allocated just for that, for dividend plays, because there, oh my God, that's the ultimate freedom right there. Do nothing. These companies, I trust in them. They're gonna do their things. I know Apple is not going. I know Amazon is not gonna go. At least in the foreseeable future in my lifetime. So when they're in perfect range, yes. With dividends, yes, definitely. Who knows? After the MOAS, we might be all interested in Berkshire Hathaway. Long one, right? Sub has the boss. Heard on some stream, Ryan Cohen is working on GME share recalls. Anyone else know about this? Well, here's the thing, Sub. What I'm hearing as well is many brokers are still having issues putting out, sending shares to the people that are with them, specifically overseas. And as I explained in that one Ryan Cohen live, it was like 2.5 hours long, but it was filled with a lot of info. I literally said in there that this adds, if people will remember, this adds the pressure. When people were so busy calling it a split, more like a dilution or whatever. I said, no, it's not a dilution. These are not extra shares being diluted into the stock and all this stuff. He's increasing the pressure under these shorts, saying if you want to manipulate this as well, that's fine. But now each person just got their same position, became like 4. Even though they equal the same amount, which is 1, one share got split into 4. However, if the price squeezes from these ranges to unbelievable amounts, when you sell one share multiplied by whatever, 4, 5, 6 figure, that's just one number. So if we put 5,000, for example, just hypothetically speaking, if GME didn't do no split and the shares squoze from whatever price it was in at 152 or whatever, 158, and it squoze to 5,000. If you sell that and you had one share and you sold it, you just got 5,000. Congrats, good for you. Now, shorts didn't cover. Now there's a split. Now you have your same share became 4 shares. Let's say that moment, that inevitable moment comes along and the price squeezes to 5,000 as well in this example. 5, you multiply that by 4, that equals what? 20,000. So 20 is more than 5 last time I checked, and last time you checked, and everybody checked it. So it is wicked what Ryan Cohen is doing with them. You just have to have your conviction if you're within that play or some other meme stock plays, and each have a different dynamic. Like we have a different situation with AMC, and GME have different fundamentals and different dynamics. It's very important to see the difference between both. However, you gotta remember that with GME right now, with that stock split, that's my analysis just on that. So if they want to cover before, perfect. They minimize their losses. They want to cover after. Now they got much bigger headache to deal with. This whole thing that was flying back then, like a week, 2, 3 weeks ago, with many other, I don't know, in my opinion, shill channels that were saying, oh, they just diluted the stock. These are all fresh new shares that are hitting the street. You don't know what they're doing with them. It doesn't freaking matter what anybody does with what, as long as it comes to you and you have your conviction in the play. What does it matter? You got your 4 shares. If you don't, that's where you turn up the heat on your broker. And eventually, that's what he incorporated in his mind. I believe. I'm not speaking for Ryan, but I believe that's what he incorporated in the back of his head. And eventually, that's going to force many brokers to recall shares because they're not going to buy shares out of their own pocket to give them to you because they don't have them. Because they've been in the gutters with the shorts. Let's face it. All the shares lending. Again, watch that stream and I think you would come out with a lot of stuff. Hopefully that answers it, Sup the Boss. Big B, what's up, brother? Jeffrey, yes, they're doing tag team like WWE. You know, when one of them gets hit with that plastic or that aluminum steps that they have, they pick them up and they make it seem like it's like metal steps. It's like aluminum sheets. And they hit the guy with it and he falls and he, like, you can see it many of the times. You can see them doing this. Oh, okay, he didn't come back yet. And then they'll go back again and like, oh, and like they're hurting, moving side to side. Yes, Veronica, appreciate you. B jamming. I understand the play of the split didn't get in on it, unfortunately, but was the dividend part of the play, or was that just love for the people holding strong? I also explained in that live stream I had over, I believe, what Ryan Cohen is doing. Please go watch it if you can. Be jamming. You'll come out with a lot of info from that, I believe. Um, it's not an official dividend. However, it is a dividend. If you're a tinfoil hat person, then you can think of it as a dividend, as I just explained a little bit ago. 4 multiplied by whatever number is always more than 1 multiply that same number. So in a way, it is a form of a dividend, just not directly form a dividend because they fundamentally right now cannot afford to give out something like that, even though they're sitting on $1 billion, but they have other struggles other than, like, for example, AMC. So AMC fundamentally right now, and let's face it, this is not comparing which one is better here. They're both shorted heavily, but AMC have better outlook on the future than GME as of right now. Now, yes, you could say I have faith. I personally have faith in Ryan Cohen as well, and the GME board. You might have it and all that. That's needed for that if you're invested in that stock. However, as of right now, as of what we know, there is no, like, AMC fundamentally is the outlook for the future. The earnings are coming back better and better every quarter. We have a lot of movies. As long as movies don't stop for whatever nuclear disaster, we're gonna keep making money, and great movies keep coming out. And that's the beauty of it, you know. Now, as far as for GME, we're waiting for that restructure program or whatever it is that they're gonna come out. But for the time being, I do believe he has something in mind, Ryan Cohen and that board, and the CEO, Furlong. And eventually, when that comes to fruition, it's step by step. When that comes to fruition, I mean, again, in that live, I broke down a reason that makes a very compelling case to everything I say about GME and why do I believe that Ryan Cohen is orchestrating this. Because if you watch that live, guys, you will know what I mean by it. He prevented anybody. He's the single highest hodler of GME's shares, biggest insider. Didn't allow no Vanguard or BlackRock to come and over triumph him by having more shares. He enticed the rest of that board to become more encouraged to buy shares rather than giving out shares or selling shares, you know? So those are good just for particular GME, you know? I'm having a GME conversation with you guys now, or with the questions that are being asked. I'm not going to say I don't do this or that. I am. Any question you bring to me, I'm going to answer it, whether it's about HKD or a moon stock. I wonder which stocks are those. So yes, in a tinfoil hat theory, I believe that it is a form of a dividend, but to be redeemed and seen at sometime in the future. Pam the trader is in the house. How are you, my friend? Pam is a singing canary as well. Buckeye Ace 513 knowledge. Yay, yay, Cincinnati. How are you, my friend? I can't wait for that interview that Pantheon has with Diane Garrett, with Boss as well. So there, that is going to be airing out soon. Hopefully, timing is great. But what an amazing individual Pantheon is, right, guys? I mean, he secured and brought this interview, and I can't wait to hear the questions that they're both gonna produce to her. I have faith in both gentlemen. Um, but congrats to you, Pantheon. Thank you for bringing that. I look forward to more great interviews that you're going to pursue and bring to the community in the future as well, because I know you have the best interest for the community overall. Yeah, our friend in NY can say whatever he want. Again, for me, he's a bag of popcorn. Minus the butter. No, not just I have the best mods already. They're the most amazing, but yet I could always have all you guys around me. You guys are all my mods. Pam, Jam, Bam, everybody. Diaz, everybody. Tally Foreman, yes, put those shots in. I'll play the song if they don't take out my if they don't put my video down. AMC Popcorn hit that spot. Hey, guys, not to hype our stock, but absolutely. I personally, honestly, and this is from the bottom of my heart, I don't filter shit. That's just me. I'll say it. Ugly or beautiful. AMC's popcorn is hands down the best popcorn I've ever had in my life. I don't know if I'm missing out on much more out there, but from whatever I've gathered in popcorn, in my popcorn experience in life, my bubble have never been burst besides the popcorn that I've tried with AMC. It's so addictive. I mean, I can literally finish up a whole bag by myself in one sitting, halfway through the movie, and then look left, right, left. Okay, time to go get some more. I mean, I don't know why I got this habit. Popcorn and a slushy. I don't like. And again, I don't drink soda. I don't drink slushies. I don't drink any of that stuff. But if I'm watching a movie at AMC, like I went to watch Nope last week, um, if I'm in the movie theater, I'm getting a slushy and I'm mixing the blue with the red. That I guess that's the child side of me is popping out when I do that. And then I also get my popcorn, and it's just an amazing mix at that point. Peter Jefferson, what's good, brother? What's your price target? You think BBIG and MMAT can go to? Just brought in some more BBIG since it went down to 70 cents. Okay, now as far as price target it could go to, that's to be seen, brother. I see BBIG as a short squeeze play. I've been in it since September of 2021, which is much longer than what I think most people even were talking about when it had its own hype. So I've seen BBIG in the 11 and the $12 ranges. And it's crazy now that it's in the 70, but I did warn about it before they had the Tide, Cryptide dividend. I warned since it was a special spin-off. And I think a lot of people overlooked it. That's why they thought that, oh, the play is over, it's going down. A special spin-off means the company, the initial initiator, which is BBIG, Zash, aka the mother company Zash, they are the ones who are issuing this dividend for Cryptide, their third counterparty, which is their digital and whatever crypto side or exposure to the crypto realm. And what they did is that all those shares that are coming out of BBIG, those 10 for one, that one, depending on how many they had to issue, all those are coming from the balance sheets of BBIG, the birthing company. So think of it more like a delivery. Um, BBIG was a mother, was carrying a child, which is Cryptide, and it gave birth. So the child came from BBIG. Hopefully that wasn't a crazy analogy, but that's the best one I could put up. So it's natural. This happens all the time. It's natural that obviously since the money came out from this balance sheet and came out from this company, that you're going to have a downtime. Now the short side are banking on that. They're like, okay, this is really good. Now we're going to scare everybody out by showing them that the price is going to go down to 70 cent and 80 cent. It was around the $2 range when they started really hammering it after the distribution. Um, and at the end of the day, for me, I look at it as a short squeeze play, so I'm not worried about anything. I did also say before that back in September of 2021, I did initially, when I created my position, I also did initiate options positions in it. and it helped me catapult a lot of profits on it, which means all this red that I'm encountering right now, I'm not in the red overall from my shares that I purchased, and then that balances out with the profits I made on the options, and then I exercised some so that I could have more shares. Now, yes, I'm at higher valuations, but again, it's just my personal outlook on bbig. MMAT, not touched it, and I never touched it. Nothing against the stock or whatever, but I just haven't extended my reach over to that, brother. So if I wasn't in honestly in a bigger hurry, I would have broke it down right now and looked at least at all its fundamentals. Trying to keep my average of bbig under $1 and get to at least 1,000 shares in case it does squeeze to 10 or more. May the odds be in your favor. Brother Peter. Jeffrey, ma'am, when we gonna do another karaoke night? Jeffrey, when are you gonna attend? Ron Johnson, thank you. That's a compliment that you put me along these amazing individuals. Definitely look up to these gentlemen. All right, my lovey-dovey people. I'm gonna have to do some sort of crazy mini movement now. Put on whatever and all that. I have to put on some pants, pull off an Adam Aaron on you guys, and have to run ASAP to get to where I need to get. I gotta finish some stuff. Hopefully, this was a fun stream. Thank you all for coming through to show some love. If you have any questions for future reference, I think I might stream tomorrow as well, or I might work on something tonight to present to you guys tomorrow. So I just wanted to see where everybody's head is at, and you guys are sharper than a diamond and shaped like one. And soon you guys are going to be carrying many of them on as well. Walking around with all these diamonds and like, why you got all this ice on? Like, because I am leveraging myself with inflation by buying precious metals. And now I'm carrying them that way. With the price goes high, I'll sell them. My wealth, I'm wearing my wealth. And then they'll start smiling. Next thing you got big, huge grills, top and bottom. Smile for me, daddy. What you looking at? Who remembers that? Who's old enough like AB who remembers that? AB with a filter? Yeah, all right. Tell it. Thank you, Jams. Vaya con Dios. Diaz. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Jam, you know what? I will sing that on the next one. Hold me to it. I wonder who I'm gonna be. Everybody has to take a course. Like somebody takes the the female part. We're like smile for me, daddy. So it could be so it could be perfect. And then I come in and like, what you looking at? I can't take it. I love you guys. Later, LF. Love you guys. Alrighty. Thank you guys again so much for everything. Hopefully the rest of your evening can go by so smoothly. Please stay cool and safe and very, very, very unpressured. At the end of the day, what's the worst that could happen, right? Let's not have that conversation. AB will never trigger your fears in here because I'd like to keep things very realistic. So we've been in this, we're in this. It's not a day thing. We know it by now, clearly. And ultimately, when the moment comes, I look forward to be actually in person, meeting many of you beautiful family members. And I know that we're going to be having a fantastic blast time. Well, at least some of you who have actually talked to me on a personal level, on Discord or anywhere else, You by now you've developed some sort of idea about AB. Is AB have no limits to when it's time to not be obviously serious or anything. When it's work time and it's straightforward. When it's fun time, don't then at that point, don't leave any stone unfucking turned. Sorry for swearing. Much love to you guys. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and I will catch you tomorrow. Much love, AB Investments.